Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to turn this digital notebook sample that I provided for you guys into something like this. So first off, you want to click on the link that I've either sent you, you've received from my Teachers Pay Teachers as a free resource, or down below in this video, and that link should make you make a copy. So it should force you to make a copy of the document. Go ahead and do that and then save it to your digital filing system. I use Google Drive, just easiest for me, but save it wherever you'd like. Once you've got that saved, go ahead and make a copy of your copy. This way you have the document saved, the original document, and you can go back to it anytime you'd like, and it's blank. And then you would use each of those copies that you make to edit in for each of your notebooks. So right here, this is an example of my copy of the copy. I'm going to go ahead and rename it like I did here, and I just named mine sample, but name yours whatever you'd like and whatever goes with your notebook. So now that we've got everything set up, some of us run into a little bit of difficulty with some of these tools, and it's a lot, so feel free to pause the video at any time. I know it took me forever to learn this, so take your time. Okay, so the first thing that you might do is change the background, and that's just to personalize it a little bit for yourself. When you change the background, it will not adjust any of this stuff, so you don't have to worry. It'll just adjust your white space in the background. So I'm going to right click on there, click change background, and then you can either choose a color or an image. And I like to just search Google and find something that I'd like. So I might type in simple white background. And one thing to keep in mind when you're picking your background is the simpler, the better. It makes your notebook stand out. It makes it easier to read your directions or pieces of your notebooks on the side if you do have things on either side of your notebook. And it's less distracting for your students. So I'm looking to try to find a simple one for those reasons. I'm just going to scroll and see what I like. And this one looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click insert. And when I click done, I can go ahead and kind of preview what it looks like. And I really like that. I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and add that background to each and every one of my pages. So that way they match. Yours don't have to match, but I find it less distracting when they do. And this part can be a little redundant, but if you get it on your main slides originally, it should make it much easier when you finish the rest of your slides versus doing it last. Perfect. So now that's done. After that, we want to know how to make changes. So right here, kids can't make changes, but we can. The only thing they can move is these clear boxes that allow them to click on the different slides, and they have to be added on the pages like this, otherwise the kids can't click them. So just tell them, don't move those. And then right here, I just label what they need to fill in. So I'll put name, class, and unit. Now I want to edit the rest of it and make it adjust it to fit my personality. So I might click slide and then hit edit master. And this is how you get to the part where you can edit it, but kids will not be able to. So I'm going to change my notebook color, and let's say I want a green notebook. I like that, so I'm going to leave it. Now I can change all my tab colors. Okay, and I could go down and change all of these tab colors. Just keep in mind that when you change these tab colors, you will have to change them on all of your tab slides. I went ahead and made all of these templates for you in the master slide, so you should have these for tab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So make sure that if you change the colors on the tabs, you go back and change them on everyone. Oops. Perfect. So I'm just turning those back normal so I don't have to do that right now. So I know this looks sloppy because it has all of these little words, but as you saw, the kids don't see that, so it's not a big deal. You can also change these little boxes, their colors, if you like as well. So change that to look like you'd like it, and I'm just going to change it back because it's a little distracting for me right now. Wasn't pretty. Okay, so that looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and click X and just make sure that works. That's perfect. So let's say I'm trying to add in a part that the kids can't edit in here, like this one here. So my kids cannot edit any of this stuff. I'm just clicking around and they can't edit it. There's more pages. I'm going to go ahead and go into master again, so slide, edit master, and I'm going to make a copy of the first one. I always want to keep my blank template. So now I'm going to duplicate the layout, and then I'm going to rename it for my own sake. So I might put tab 1, page 1. And then I'm going to hit OK. Once that's renamed and we're on tab 1, page 1, we can go ahead and add what we'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and put a text box here and type in my title. And I personally like to change it to Architect's Daughter so it looks like handwriting, but use whatever font you'd like. Now I'm using this as a response, so I want kids to be able to write in some text after my title. So I'm going to place a placeholder text. Now I'm just going to pick body text. And I'm going to add it in right here. Highlight over everything. Change the font size to 9. This template was built, oops, don't scroll too much. This template was built for a font size 9. It's going to let me highlight over everything again. Okay, perfect. Font size 9, Arial font, and you'll want to adjust the line spacing to custom and 1.1. Perfect. Now you're going to move up the text box. You want to line up the first level with where you want your writing to go. So I'm going to move it up a little bit and then hit shift and then use my arrows to kind of fine tune it. And that looks perfect. Don't worry about all the other levels. That is not a big deal. So now we're going to test it out. So hit X and then we're going to change this layout. So we're going to apply layout tab 1, page 1. And that looks pretty good to me. Now the kids can start writing. And it lines up correctly. Now, if I hit enter, and just hit enter when I'm trying to go to my next line, it looks a little funky and it's going to cut through the lines, right? Just like that. That's not ideal. So you'll have to tell your kids to hit shift and hold shift while they hit enter if they're trying to go to a new line. And it should, oops. It should continue to line up correctly. Now let's say I wanted a second page. I can go ahead and click slide, edit master. I can duplicate my layout again. And then I'm going to rename this one. So I might say tab 1, page 2. And let's say I didn't want this to be a free response. I might title it something else like, what tool is used for each item? Task would be a better word. Task. And I'm going to use a text box again. I might adjust this down a little bit though. It's a little high. Okay, perfect. Use a text box again so the kids cannot edit it. They can't edit text boxes. They can edit placeholders. And I'm going to put my directions in. Poor directions, but this is just an example. Okay, and I'm going to make this look however I'd like. Ooh, that looks funky. We'll just leave it like that. Perfect. And one thing that you want to know is always keep your directions and your pieces of activities on the same side as you usually do. Otherwise it gets confusing. So I always put my directions on the left and my activity pieces on the right, and that keeps it consistent and easy for the kids to find what they're looking for. Now I might insert some text so that way the kids can't edit it, but examples. So making a presentation might be one of them. And I might have to adjust this size a little bit. Size 9, perfect. And I'm just going to copy and paste this with Control C, Control V. Use Shift in my arrows to kind of line it up. Writing a paper. And I'd kind of fill this up. Might bring this one down just a little bit. And I could add shapes or text boxes to the side. And write what they, oops, not in here, sorry. X out first. Add it in. So new slide, or you can duplicate if you want your background the same, and then apply your layout. Oops. Okay, and then you can add your text boxes or shapes. I like to use shapes because it makes it more fun. So I might write Google Slides. Then I copy and paste this so it's the same size. Google Slides, Google Docs, and then whatever else you'd like. But you want to add this inside your regular editing mode, not master slides, so they can move them. I like to change the colors, makes it more fun. I'm just going to use plain colors so it's easy to see. And you can adjust the line weight so that way they're easy to see as well. So now when the kids are in here, they can go ahead and click and drag and move them by where they belong. And you can kind of see that these don't fit properly, so you can adjust them either on here, or you can go to Edit Master and kind of move things to where there'd be more spacing between, and you'd see that adjusted in here. So that's perfect. Now, another thing to note is when your kids are going through these, let's say they're in present mode. They might not realize that there's a second page if they're just clicking through the tabs. So one thing you could do to remind them is add in arrows. So forward and back arrows, and then encourage them to use those. So if you click on the shapes, arrows, and then click and drag your arrow. And I always duplicate one, so Control C, Control V. That way they're the same exact size and I don't have to guess. And if I right click on it, I can rotate it and flip horizontally, so that way they face different directions. I'm just going to adjust my line weight and color on these so that way they're easier to see, because I'm noticing they're not that easy. Oh, that's bright. There we go. Perfect. So now that I've got these here, I can go ahead and link them. So you just right click on them, click link, previous slide. Right click on the other one, link, and next slide. Now you'll want to click on them both. So click, hold shift, and then click and let go. Copy them, and then paste them on all of your slides, and they should go in the same exact spot. Perfect. So now if we're looking at our notebook, I'm going to get rid of this first one because there is no previous slide. The kids can go to their next slides and see those. They can click on the tabs, and when you add the new slides, they should adjust the tabs like this one did. So we added in that extra one and it adjusted what the green tab was at and so on. And they should be able to navigate through their notebooks. Now the last thing you can do is add titles on your tabs. And what I do is I go ahead and make my text box. I flip it. I write in my words, so I might say tools for one, and I make this pretty small and center mine, but do whatever fits for you, and I can just move it there and that works good. And now that I know that one works, I'm going to just copy and paste, add my other words, so tools, help videos, or whatever works, whatever fits your class needs. I'm just going to put that on 2 lines. If you hold shift and use your arrows, you can get that pretty precise. This isn't a great order that I would put my stuff in, but it's a good example. Okay, so 3 works. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and copy these and paste them into all my other slides. And I'll go up to 6 just to save time, but do it in all of them. And then you're going to want to go back and click on all of them while holding shift, go to order, and send them to the back. That puts them behind the little clear text or clear shape that links to the other slides. Otherwise, it's going to go ahead and not pull up that little shape. So go ahead and move it to the back. And as you can see, now I can click them and go to the slides that I'd like. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me and let me know. And I hope you enjoy this template.